Well,
Creepy.
speaking of an absolute disaster, Lori Lightfoot loses her re-election bid in Chicago.
Blames racism
Blames racism. Oh.
and sexism.
Who else would she blame? Herself? No.
God, man.
It can't be her fault. I actually didn't know things were that bad for her there. Like, I knew she was doing a bad job, but I didn't think it would be like she would lose her election, you know? Like, that was kind of shocking to me.
I was watching a few videos on it, and the basic premise is that there wasn't. When she won last time, there was a lot of other candidates also running, so it was kind of like a spread out, like all the votes were spread out.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
this time, less people were running, so it kind of like, and more white districts voted this time, and it just overwhelmed her.
Well, also when crime like triples, I don't know what the exact number is, but
Fifty-two
it certainly
percent.
didn't go down while she was mayor.
It's a 52% increase.
Well, I mean, that's just a number.
There's
I mean,
so many articles, like Monday articles about Chicago's weekends. It's just horrible.
this summer of love.
You can find like 20 breaking Chicago murder record broken over weekend.
A brand new record, day 15. Give it up for day 15. So Lori Lightfoot was the first incumbent mayor of Chicago to lose in 40 years, receiving 16.4% of the vote. 16.4.
Gross.
That is bad.
It is bad.
Not even like 50% or 40%. Like, no. You got 416. Oy. Finishing behind former head of Chicago Public Schools Paul Vallis, who garnered 35%, and Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, who nabbed 20.2%. She said, I feel a lot of love in this room as I felt every step of the way. She said during her concession speech, I've called Brandon Johnson and Paul Vallis, congratulate them on their victories and advancing to the runoffs. We're your fierce competitors, blah, blah, blah. I support the next mayor, blah, blah, blah. But also, because not taking accountability is now a theme in this episode.
Yes.
She said, I am a black woman. Let's not forget. Certain folks frankly don't support us in leadership roles. Regardless of tonight's outcome, we fought the right fights and we put the city on a better path.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just kind of funny. I always hated this art. I really just hate whenever they use this. It's like you're kind of undermining your own civil rights activism in a way. Because you're saying a black person, whenever they do something, it's always good. Because that essentially means that they're not human beings. They're like babies that need to be coddled. It's like they're humans. They can be good politicians or they can be bad politicians.
Yeah.
She was a bad politician. The people spoke. She's no longer the mayor. I mean, that's how it works. Well, she is the mayor until the I guess whenever they have the actual election and stuff. But still, she's not going to be the mayor for much longer.
Yeah, this is the primary, right?
Yeah, but essentially what it means is she's her days are very much numbered.
Yeah, she lost the primary. She's not gonna. She's no chance of getting elected
It's over.
unless those two front runners just suddenly die of
I mean, all of them would have to die, I
of a
think.
of a gunshot wound to the chest and
She
hang.
doesn't have the balls that Hillary does.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's a surgery for that.
Uh, not actually, no, there isn't.
There's no surgery.
Not yet.
I swear to God, they got prosthetic balls they can sew onto you.
Well, they have prosthetic balls for pickup trucks.
I thought they were like steel
Truck
nuts.
nuts.
I know truck
Truck
nuts. I
nuts.
didn't know they were silicone.
I don't know what they're made of.
When you go follow one, let me know.
I know like two different dudes invented the truck nuts at the same time, and they have fought like countless legal battles.
That is a
It's
story.
very funny.
That's a story for another day.
That is definitely a story. It is a very good story. Lightfoot campaigned for mayor in 2019 by arguing crime was too high, saying she wanted to make Chicago the safest big city in the country.
Yeah, you can't say that without a straight face. You cannot say
I
that.
can't. How do you campaign on something
It is
and then it goes the exact opposite way? Like not even like a little bit, like maybe crime goes up a tiny bit. Like no, it just homicides mostly from gun violence spiked dramatically in 2020, 2021 from 500 murders in 2019 to 776 and 804 in the next 2 years, respectively. Shootings and carjackings also skyrocketed. So it quite literally became a more dangerous city under her watch.
yes,
That is impressive.
or she let it. She let it be. She let it get this way.
I
More
think it
honest.
was a combination of maybe letting it and also just ineffective policies. As in, probably the whole catch and release with criminals and stuff like that, which every major city does. All right. I mean, look, this isn't really any big like victory at the end of the day. It's there. She's going to be replaced by somebody that's probably going to be just as bad, if not worse.
Or it's gonna be like a
And Chicago's
neutral.
not going to get any better.
Or it's gonna be just like a neutral where it's not gonna get any better or worse. It's just gonna
Well,
stagnate.
I think it's kind of reaching a point where the crime is, and in this kind of happened in Philly where the crime is going up so much it can't go up anymore. There's just
Exactly.
not enough people to kill.
Yeah, they've killed almost each
It
other
has to just
enough.
level off at some point. So
Yeah,
that's probably what's going to happen first. And Chicago has a much higher population than Philly, so 700 and 800 dying in a year is more feasible when your city has like I don't know how many you live there, like 5 million or something like that.
Philly's gonna try though.
They're trying. I mean, we've hit like 500 the last couple of years. I think
Listen,
this year is going to be lower,
if
or last year was lower. But
if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl in a home game to the Cowboys, people will fucking die.
you are not a sports fan because that is not actually possible.
I know. I'm just fucking just saying.
They would have to move to the other conference for that to happen,
Good.
which would never happen because
Damn.
rivalries are too lucrative.
I
What
would
was the
love. I
murder
would love
numbers?
to see that though. I don't know sports.
Yeah, so 2022 homicides were down 8% from 2021. But again, I believe that's solely because they just ran people to kill. It's kind of like records in the NFL, like the passing yards or the passing touchdowns can only be so high because it reaches like human like limits. Like they can't throw any more touchdowns. It's like it's impossible for them to throw any more in that span of time. Uh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful.
Uh,